And good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us on ABC24 Weather Impact Now. I'm ABC24 meteorologist CJ Cartledge here. We did see one or two severe storms here roll through the Mid-South, mainly from the west earlier today, but brought a much-needed cool down as temperatures were very high in those 90s, some even the lower triple digits out there. Here's a look at where that storm is as of right now. It's slowly making its way outside of the Mid-South region. Actually, we just seen that severe thunderstorm warning expire for Tippah County. That was in effect all the way until 6:30, and right now it's 6:31, as you can see here. But as you can see, zooming into this storm here, it mainly brought the threat for damaging winds as well as heavy rainfall, torrential rainfall here, which is why some areas, mainly Tippah County within the Mid-South, is now under a flood advisory all the way until 9 p.m. tonight, which means there are some flooded roadways out there, and we've seen a good amount of rainfall in that area in Tippah County. And we should still continue to see a couple of rain showers here, maybe for the next 30 minutes or so. But please watch out for those flooded roadways as you're heading home from work today, because they're definitely out there over there in Tippah County, where the flood advisory lasts all the way until 9 p.m. tonight here. This is the severe thunderstorm, the new severe thunderstorm warning that's just outside of the viewing area, and is actually moving into the town of Tupelo as of right now. So if you know anybody in these areas that you see here on the screen, I'm going to name a few: Fulton, Saltillo, as well as Shannon, Okolona, and Pontotoc. Pontotoc is also seeing a couple of storms as of right now. Doing the best I can to pronounce these names, by the way, so please don't yell at me if I pronounce your town name wrong if you're listening from outside of the viewing area here. Fulton may also see this severe storm within the next 30 minutes or so. Here's a look at, once again, that storm, and we're going to be looking at temperatures now and how much we have cooled off as a result of this storm rolling past portions of the Mid-South here. Forest City saw this storm first. They're now sitting in the 80s, and they cooled off to the lower 80s and some even the upper 70s out there around Forest City. And Memphis still still seeing some temperatures climb a little bit here. I believe we saw around 84 degrees before we dropped down to 83 once again. But temperatures near Holly Springs as well as near Oxford right now are in the lower 80s right now. They're currently sitting at 81 degrees as a result of the storm rolling through. But everywhere outside of that, we're dealing with the mid and upper 80s and some even the lower 90s there by Clarksdale. Covington around 86 degrees, Bolivar 87 there, and 85 by Corinth at the very moment here. In terms of heat indexes, those have also dropped, but we're still feeling like the 90s in some portions of the region, 80s for other areas here, especially for those that have just saw the effects of the storm, which are now feeling like the 80s, the mid-80s by Holly Springs and Oxford, 86 for Memphis, 95 by Covington and Truman, and same for Forest City and Clarksdale in the far southern portions of the region. But we'll remain under this extreme heat warning as well as the heat advisory all the way until 8 p.m. tonight. And as of right now, there are no extensions associated with any of these warnings here, but I could definitely see a couple of warnings be issued, or at least a heat advisory be issued as we move into tomorrow for some areas, but not for all of us here. So the dangerous heat and humidity will take a little bit of a backseat heading into tomorrow due to a drop in humidity, but we should see very similar temperatures. Here's a severe threat through the rest of today. It remains at a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather, so not much really to worry about outside of the damaging winds and the heavy rainfall at times here. We shouldn't see any more storms through the rest of today, actually, and that's a severe wind update, and that's associated with the marginal risk that's in effect right now. Here's a look at how high temperatures rose through the rest of, or throughout today. We saw a high of 97 degrees, which I believe was 1 degree shy lower than what we were expecting for today, but very similar conditions to what we were expecting. We saw very high temperatures across the region, and we reached 97, obviously, before the storms rolled through, or at least the outflow boundary rolled through the Memphis area. Most of Memphis, I believe, did not see much rainfall. I believe downtown saw a few sprinkles or two, but many areas around the Memphis area did not see rainfall for today. They just saw the gust front move through, and that cooled us off quite a bit here around the Mid-South region. Our low was 83 degrees, so that was definitely a high low temperature in the morning hours here. We were mainly used to the mid and upper 70s out there, maybe some lower 80s, 80, 81 degrees, but we saw a low of 83 degrees earlier this morning here, and we should deal with the mid and upper 70s as we move through the next couple of days ahead of us with little to no chance for rain on the way. Here's a look at tomorrow's forecast in terms of high temperatures. We're looking at 97 for Memphis, 99 potentially near Tunica, as mentioned before. Similar temperatures, just lower humidity as compared to what we saw for today. 98 by Clarksdale, 90 potentially for Dyersburg. We are seeing a cooler air mass roll into the Mid-South as of right now, which is why we're seeing slightly lower temperatures. But we should deal with a more substantial cool down as we move into the later part of this week. This is only a weak cold front moving through that will only affect areas just outside of the region, not so much for us here. But for those near Dyersburg, they're definitely going to be seeing much cooler conditions and temperatures near or below the average for this time of year. In terms of heat index, high temperatures for tomorrow, many of us will see the 90s, only some will see the triple digits, which is why I say that some areas will see a heat advisory be issued, maybe even 1 or 2 counties under that extreme heat warning, as you can see by Clarksdale with a forecast heat index high of 110. But many of us may see heat advisories by tomorrow, more than likely by areas near Tunica and Forest City, and maybe even for the Memphis area. So we'll have to continue to watch out for that notion that we'll get heat advisory be issued potentially by later today or later tonight, or into early tomorrow morning when meteorologist Daniel McDonald returns. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour forecast heading into the daytime hours, or at least through the rest of the night tonight. Not much really going on, as you can see by the storms leaving the Mid-South region. A couple isolated showers possible as we move into early tomorrow morning, but that's pretty much going to be it. And that isolated shower chance will be mainly for our portions in southeastern Arkansas and northern Mississippi. Not so much for the Memphis area or anywhere northward. But as we move into the daytime hours for our Tuesday here, not much really expect to go on. The clouds will clear, especially by the afternoon hours, which will allow for temperatures to rise as high as they may, similar to what we saw for this past afternoon. But as you can see, moving through the daytime hours for Wednesday, we will be dealing with not much rain once again, mostly clear skies and once again higher temperatures for the daytime hours for Wednesday. Here's a look at the humidity trend, or also known as the muggy meter. It shows that we'll be dealing with a drop in the dew point there, back to the, I would say, borderline, muggy and comfortable range around 70 degrees, but we should deal with a rise in humidity once again. By the time we reach our Thursday, the main reason for why the humidity will rise is because rain chances are expected to rise, and that dew point and temperature rise very close to each other as and once with storms come about. So when storms arrive here in the Memphis area, that temperature and dew point is almost neck and neck. So that's why we'll see a rise in that muggy meter, or the dew point there, humidity for that matter. Temperatures moving into the next few days, and don't mind that red space there. We forgot to put that off for this forecast here, but we are expecting high temperatures moving into Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe not so much heading into the rest of the work week here, and that will be due to a more substantial cool down and much stronger cold front moving through as we move into our Thursday. That's going to explain for the rise in rain chances heading into Thursday. But we should deal with temperatures near or below the average heading into our Friday coming up, right on the average in terms of Memphis area, around 92 for a high and 73 for a low. As you can see, is right exactly identical to that average for this time of year. But as we move into Saturday and Sunday and Monday, temperatures will race back towards that uncomfortable range. We could definitely see that humidity rise once again here around the Mid-South. So continue to please take care of yourself and other people around you. Make sure to tell everyone to stay hydrated out there, and we'll have more cool stories about the weather coming up after the break.